Train movement, not muscles. When we talk about functional training, this is a philosophy, almost a spiritual axiom for almost every educated strength coach in the field out there today. So, when we hit a home run, when we dance with our girlfriend or boyfriend, when we take out the trash, play with the kids, what works? Everything works all together and all at once, simultaneously and synergistically. So, if the body works as a unified whole, it's only rational, it only makes sense to train it as a unified whole. Think about rehearsing an orchestra where you put the oboe player in the kitchen, and you put the cello player in the living room, and you put the violin player in the closet, and most violin players are in the closet anyway. You know, when you put them all back together, it wouldn't sound very good. So again, we want to look at training as a unified whole. And when we talk about functional training, the goal, the functional goal of training is to be able to better balance and control our own body weight so we can win the war against gravity and navigate the three-dimensional world, the three-dimensional environment, the world that we live in and play in. So the Workout America Functional Training Manual would describe the needs analysis for how we navigate that environment in the following ways. We need balance, reaction, acceleration, deacceleration, being able to put the brakes on, agility, mobility, and dynamic strength and power. And by dynamic, I mean moving. And what we're talking about here is movement. The problem with the American lifestyle is that we sit all the time. We sit in school, we sit at work, we sit driving to and from school and work. Traditional gym mentality would have you believe that the antidote for all this sitting is more sitting. We sit in a machine or we lay down on a bench. As soon as we sit down, a couple of things happen. Number one, we take the core of the body and the lower back out of the movement. So meanwhile, there is an epidemic of lower back problems in this country. You know, we're looking at Good Bodies, which is goodbodies.com is a research review, indicates that 8 out of 10 Americans will see a doctor for a lower back problem. We spend in this country $50 billion a year on lower back problems. The other issue is as soon as we're sitting down, our feet are not in contact with the floor. We have no balance, no coordination, and no proprioception. Meanwhile, the Center for Disease Control will indicate that the leading cause of death for seniors in this country is falling. And the National Council on Aging indicates that there are 3 million falls a year that result in injury, and about 1 million of those are catastrophic injuries. Falling is estimated to cost the American population $70 billion in 2020. So it is a huge epidemic. So when we talk about applying these, the needs analysis to our actual training, we want to look at a couple of elements. Number one, we want to train standing. Real life is standing. We're never asked to apply force sitting down or laying down. So how do we do this? We want to be able to train the whole body. We want to train exercises that involve the legs and hips, the core of the body and the upper body, all together and all at once. Just like we talked about in the beginning, simultaneously and synergistically. How do we do that? We have to train with portable tools. Tools that allow us to work standing, where we have to balance and control our own body weight. That would be termed intrinsic resistance, as well as external or extrinsic resistance, which are what? Dumbbells, kettlebells, medicine balls, bands, cables, things where we can work with 360-degree ranges of motion where we're on our own feet, balancing our body weight, and we're moving. Again, movement is one of the essential elements of this. So, and the other thing we want to look at is we want to train with momentum and power. So, if we are going to stand up from a seat, if we're going to climb stairs, we use momentum to overcome inertia. Nothing happens slow. You look at a slip and fall, we're reducing momentum. So we are always either producing or reducing momentum, and those are vital elements in movement. The other thing is power. Is that power is strength is just weight times distance. So if you're going to push up 100 pounds, it doesn't make any difference whether it takes you 10 seconds or an hour. That's the same strength. But power is weight times distance divided by speed, and that element is critical. Power development in seniors is one of the vital elements that they need to maintain activities of daily living. So, finally, I would leave you with a thought.
It got zapped. It shut everything down.
Oh, okay.
So we'll just have to go without the last one.
Finally, I would leave you with this thought, is that training is a tool that changes tissue. Training influences every cell and every system in the body. So when we look at functional training, again, we want to look at standing momentum-based training that is whole body in nature, and we want to be able to go big or go home.